Hello, my name is Ron Bales and I'm the chairman of the Western Model Railway Society. Cherry Orchard is a layout that's a large O-gauge layout. It's 36 foot long by 4 foot wide. It incorporates a narrow gauge industrial railway that serves a brickworks and a mainline feeder so that the bricks can be transported away to the rest of the country, and also a small brewery at one end of the layout. The narrow gauge is controlled by analog, and the standard gauge is run through DCC. Usually we have about 11 or 12 members, and at the moment we have about 6 to 7 of those that are active. So we're quite a small club, but we did have as much as 36 members many years ago. So invariably the narrow gauge looks after itself. The clay is brought from the pits to the pressing shed. The wagons are emptied, and then the empties go back out to the clay pit, and then there's the waste train that runs round past the kiln. For the standard gauge it's a little bit easier. The empty brick wagons come in from London. They're shunted into the transfer siding, and then the shunter brings them down from the transfer side into the bottom yard, where they are then shunted into the brick dock. And at the same time in those trains there's various goods for the goods yard, which is also at the bottom level. We also have a station, and that gets a fairly regular service, probably more so than real life, running with DMUs and passenger trains, and we also have some freight and parcel trains that run up and down the layout. We have working signals and the working level crossing gates, and we try to work them in the method that they should be worked in real life, so that actually slows down the operation of the railway, so you don't just set the signals off and run the train off. You are supposed to bring the train to a stand, then pull the signal off and allow the train to run into the station once the level crossing gates are open, because they're normally closed to the railway. The other feature would be the narrow gauge, which is very typical and industrial narrow gauge, and sadly the prototype closed in 1995. The layout can be run with a minimum number of 2 people, although you're busy all day, not recommended, and it runs best with 5. So the stock is a mixture of kit built and very little scratch built and ready to run. The ready to run has really changed O-Gauge over the years, especially more so now that the sound and stay alive has come along very in leaps and bounds. So where we started out running analog in about 1998, I think, we moved on to DCC for the O-Gauge section, and then sound chips, and now sound chips with stay alive. This layout is, like I say, it was first started in 1993. It was first exhibited in its 12-foot by 2-foot form in 1995 and first exhibited as a 36-foot by 4-foot layout in 2005. So the layout's quite old now, a lot of investment over the years. We're not looking to scrap it, we'll probably keep it going, but in the meantime the stock will be transferred to another layout which we're in the process of obtaining, which will be based on the Docklands area of London. So the Class 15's a little loco company model. It's a very, very nice model. The sound on it is superb, and the we had two models on the video. One was a fairly modern one in terms of the Class 15, and the other one, 8202, was a Norwich-based example as it was first delivered. I would say my most favourite part, only recently though, is the little rustern that shunts the brickworks, because the small engine shed was one of the first features built for the standard gauge based on Andover LSWR shed. And the rustern is a very old kit, one of my first that I built, recently fitted with a DCC sound and stay alive, which for an 040 loco makes the running much better than it would have done years ago. This layout will now, at the moment, be on display at Alexandra Palace in 2021.